for war. I'm ready for more. Whole squad in the field, yeah, we tell them I'm ready for more. I'm ready for war. Tell them I'm ready for war. If you looking for me, you know where to find me. I leave you dusted, I leave you behind me. I flip the switch from 0 to 90. If you do too much, I'ma do the almighty. You know I got it, you know I'm a legend. You know I'm the one, I do not come in second. Please do not tempt me, don't hold it against me. We about that action, don't ever forget it.
We have a cold night in the Northeast. A bad evening to be without a parka, but we are set for football at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. He'll swing this out to Mostert. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle, there to make the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them, and an absolute shock for the quarterback, because he went into it, he saw the numbers we saw, he watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be, but early in this one, advantage defense.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet, so they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28. But one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage. And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Now Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Allen Lazard, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Crosby with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Running the counter with Mostert. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Packers, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Barnes. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's a toss play right to Mostert. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now Mostert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. And, Charles, you look at this defense, yeah, they're a confident bunch, and they're going to need to be. They're facing a group here that is seeking a 5th consecutive victory.
And this head coach knows all about motivational tactics. He was touting his unit all week saying, we've got a locker room full of guys ready to step up, ready to go. And he believes that.
Play action. It's Wilson. Steps away. That's swung out to Mostert. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're acting panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then
rush coming, and he's taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
Dancing to his left. The left side completion to Jones. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And to the 49-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. To throw on 2nd and 6, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down after a gain of about 11 as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they...
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Eluded, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Well, Zadarius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground. And this offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. That is caught by Mims. Touchdown, Jets. Denzel Mims. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And it'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. Jones has it. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Rodgers now on 1st down. Looking deep for Adams. And incomplete on the deep ball. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And
that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up.
And it's a Packers touchdown. Robert Tonyan in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. The return man, Ty Johnson. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. 1 second, all that remains. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Flush to his right. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And he returns this to the 22.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Here's Jones again on second down. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Johnson on the return. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Jets will take over first and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got this one completed to Mims. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. It's a big play that time by the Jets.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On first and 10, it's Mostert. They find some open field here. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes Cobb. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So a turnover there on the kickoff. And don't look now, but that just made things a little more interesting.
Very interesting, because when you're trailing in a game, these are the mistakes that you pray for. You just went down and scored. Now you get the football right back with another great opportunity.
Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. To throw is Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Rodgers. And it's complete to Adams. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Packers take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out, fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did. And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Again, it's Jones. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. On play action, it's Rodgers. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Touchdown! Aaron Jones from 19 yards away. And the Packers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Johnson now returning. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd and 6. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Packers pick it up. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
You've had to put up.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Wilson. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 23. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Looking deep for Adams. He's got a man, complete. And deep he goes into Jets territory before being taken down. A big play there, Rodgers to Adams, 61 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. He can't get him down, and he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On play action, now Rodgers. And it's caught. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. Then he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 22-yard line.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back. 51, Mike 51. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Now it's Wilson. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the Packers' 2-yard line.
One last shot for Wilson. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Packers, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on Washington. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.